Today, I'd like to welcome Michaela Hearst. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yeah.
Michaela is one of our featured guest bloggers for Friends of Quinn. She is also a new member of NCLD's Young Adult Leadership Council and is a project social ambassador for the NVLD Project. Michaela, welcome.
Thank you.
So tell me more about the NVLD Project. How did you get involved in that?
NVLD Project was founded in 2013, and the founder's daughter, who's a good friend of mine, has NVLD herself, and the founder was inspired to create it because she had struggled so much over the years, and also parenting a child with a lesser known LD. So she wanted to create awareness, and it's still a fairly new project. It's constantly evolving, and they're always looking for new opportunities and new things to do. They're doing research. I've been blogging for them for like a year and a half now. I spoke at their benefit dinner last year as a project social ambassador. So they're doing some pretty cool stuff.
So what inspired you in school to get all those degrees and just keep pushing forward?
After high school, I went to Landmark College, and I know you know Landmark because I know you graduated.
I know Landmark.
I was really lucky to have found Landmark when I did, because my junior year of high school, I was struggling in every way you could think of possible. And my mom was the one who found Landmark, said, we're going to Vermont, and essentially dragged me up there. And I did the high school program there a few months later, and I loved it, and I knew that it was the place for me to be. So I got through my senior year of high school and counted the days until I could go to Landmark. And I was there for 2 years. I graduated with my AA, and it was really there that I had every single aha moment that you could think of. I really learned how to learn, and I know you can attest to that because you went there and you know what it's all about.
Yeah.
But for the first time in my life, I actually felt smart, and I felt autonomous in a way that I never had felt before. And my success wasn't conditional. It wasn't, you're only successful because you have tutoring. You're successful because you're in lower classes. You're successful because your mom is helping you with your homework every night. Like, success wasn't conditional on anything. It was, I succeeded because I worked so hard, and I did that on my own with the support that I needed, but I also sought out that support because I know that it was there for me and I knew that I needed it. So it was really there that I got everything I needed. After that, after I got my AA, I graduated with honors, and I went on to Manhattanville College, where I got my BA in psychology. And I knew that I wanted to work with LD students. In what capacity, I wasn't sure yet during undergrad, but between undergrad and grad school, I took a year off, and I did a graduate certificate in dyslexia studies and language-based LDs through Southern New Hampshire University. It was totally online. It was 5 classes, 3 credits each. So it took a year to do, and I finished it right as I was starting grad school. It was really the success that I had at Landmark that drove me to every subsequent degree that I got. And it made me realize that I could do it, and I helped form the identity as a student that I always wanted and always really knew I was.
Yeah.
I ended up choosing social work because there's so many things that you can do with a social work degree. And I got my master's in social work. I'm an MSW, so I can put those letters after my name now.
How do you think people like you and me are misunderstood? What do you think the most common thing about us that's misunderstood, do you think?
It's a hard one, not for me to answer, but it's just because there are so many different facets to that question. Yeah. There's knowing that someone has an LD, and then not knowing and making assumptions. I'm going to use this as an example. I was in situations where either I was forced to disclose my LD, not because I was embarrassed or because I was ashamed. It was really just because I didn't think I would need to, and then I ended up having to. I've literally written essays on every single misconception.
Yeah.
It's mistaken for laziness and stupidity and being slow, and it's also more than that. It's being put in situations where you feel like you're less than functional.
Yeah.
When it's not that you're not functional, it's just that it's a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is a struggle to get things done or to get the help that you need because either you don't know what you need or people just don't know how to support you.
Or who do you think the biggest support in your life has been?
I mean, there have been so many people, and if you're watching this, you know exactly who you are, who have helped me get to where I am now, and I have so much love and gratitude for them. And I wrote a blog about this for Friends of Quinn, and I know you read it, but my friend who passed away in March of a prolonged illness,
Yeah.
I promised him that I was going to keep going and that I was going to we all knew I was going to get my degree, but I promised him that I was going to keep going and that I wasn't going to let him down.
What advice do you have for people like you and me who are just starting out? Or going through, I'll be nice, high school, and call it high school.
I would say keep going because as cliche as it sounds, life might suck at times, and having an LD is no easy road. And I don't really think there's a way to sugarcoat that because it's not easy, but you can get to a place where you're happy and at peace with yourself and with others as well. And again, if you're going through a bad time, it's not the end.
Yeah.
In high school sucks and you graduate and life changes. I'm certainly not the same person I was 8 years ago when I was a senior. So a week and a half ago, I was starting a social media campaign called a hashtag LD Strong or hashtag Stand with LD. So I tweeted, let me get the exact tweet, because I tried to make this go absolutely viral, but I want to be able to read this. Just students with learning disabilities, diagnosed and undiagnosed, starting school this year. You aren't alone. I stand with you. To the second grade girl who wants spelling bee after spelling bee but struggled in math, I am with you. To the sixth grade girl who wrote beautiful poetry but failed test after test and was told she wasn't trying hard enough, I am with you. To the ninth grade girl who was diagnosed with a learning disability and wanted to feel smart and loved, I am with you. And that really started because obviously in the beginning of a school year, you're going to be seeing people post pictures about, yeah, I'm in so-and-so grade, or I'm going into this year of college or whatever. And it got me thinking about the sad reality about how many kids are going to struggle. Mm-hmm. Just like I did, just like you did, just like so many of us did. And no one should have to feel as alone as I felt on so many occasions. So I wanted to get that out there because they're not alone and we stand with them, even if they don't know what's going on. Like, I didn't know I had a learning disability until I was 14, but I always knew that there was something that was different. And if I could say anything to my old self, it would be like, you are not alone. Like, this is not your fault. And that was a message that I really wanted to put out there.
Well, Michaela, thank you so much for your time today, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.